Hi, welcome to Doing Business in New Zealand. To start things off, let me tell you a bit about New Zealand. The demographics of New Zealand, they have 4.5 million in the country itself. They are very much a Christian community. Surprisingly for the country, even though it's just at 4.5 million, equivalent to Singapore size, they have internet penetration of up to 75%, which is actually very high. Currently, a little bit about the culture. Their culture is, they are very open and laid-back community. They are very much into sports because they have a very strong All Black team for both rugby and cricket. And the main topics that we do talk about in the country itself will be politics as well as sports. They are very much into the ongoing heated discussions of politics. A little bit about business etiquette and protocol in New Zealand. In terms of relationship and communication, New Zealanders are very reserved, somewhat reserved, especially people they do not know. But once they develop a personal relationship with you, they become more friendly, outgoing, and social. So at first with them, do not appear to be too forward or over-friendly because they can retract back. They respect people who are honest, direct, and demonstrate a sense of humor. So bring in the humor into your conversation when you speak to a New Zealander. They trust people and they give trust quite easily until they have a reason not to. If this happens in business, the breach of trust will be very difficult to repair. So be careful that you do not breach the trust that they give to you. Okay, in terms of business meeting etiquette, appointments are usually necessary and should be made at least 1 week in advance via telephone, fax, or even email. It's generally quite easy to schedule meetings with them or even with senior level managers if you're coming from another country. It can be difficult to schedule meetings in hot peak periods such as Christmas and December period and January because these are the prime months for summer vacation, so most of them will not be in the office. Arrive meetings on time as usual or even a few minutes early. This is the basic protocol that you should follow. If you do not arrive on time, people will misinterpret your behavior as being rude or that you're unreliable and that your time is more important than anything else. So be careful on being punctual. Meetings are generally very relaxed. There's no formal discussions or formal gestures that you should make. However, they are very serious when it comes to talking about business. Expect a brief amount of small talk. Apart from that, you can start getting to the matter at hand already. If you make a presentation to them, avoid any hype, exaggerated claims, etc. because they are very interested on focus and what people can do instead of what people say they can do. So present your business case with facts and figures. They do like that. Charts. Avoid showing a lot of emotions and feelings because New Zealanders, again, they are very cutthroat and focused to the point. Maintain eye contact at all times because this is important when you do business dealings. A touch on New Zealand's media landscape. Businesses in New Zealand use both mainstream media as well as social media. Mainstream media, we mean things like the press, television, radio stations, as well as news agencies such as New Zealand Press Association, as well as Scoop. In terms of social media, a lot of businesses in New Zealand, mainly MNCs, have started using online advertising as a platform. And in 2007, they actually generated 140 million New Zealand dollars based on just online advertising. There's a lot of companies such as the main Big Four, KPMG and the likes, that have started using social media as a platform to do their business. Even political parties such as New Zealand Labour Party have started using social media to further their campaigns in New Zealand. So it's important for businesses who go into New Zealand to actually use social media as a platform for them to gain coverage in New Zealand. An interesting fact about New Zealand and social media is the fact that there's this New Zealand company, they just started up. It's called Startup Media. They're actually a company which helps businesses in New Zealand to start using social media as a new platform to further their business goals. With that, we've ended this session on doing business in New Zealand. Stay tuned next week for the next coverage.